Hello, today we are going to study the method for describing genetic crosses, and you have to know the result of crosses involving two heterozygous parents. But we defined before genetics, and we said it's the study of inherited characteristics and the way they are passed on from one generation to another. So in this lesson we are going to study genetics. So genetics itself means the study of inherited characteristics and how they pass from one generation to another. So to understand genetics, focus here with this cross, which is between a homozygous brown-eyed man and a homozygous blue-eyed woman. So a homozygous brown is B capital chromosomes or B capital genes, and for homozygous blue-eyed woman we have B small gametes. We said before that homozygous means carrying the same allele on both members of the homologous pair. And they described in the blue box here, they described which eye color is dominant and which eye color is recessive. So dominant allele is the one that shows up the phenotype of these cells. So now you will ask yourself, what do you mean by phenotype? Actually, phenotype means the observation features of an organism. So here in our example, the dominant eye color is a brown. So the phenotype of dominant B capital is brown. And the recessive phenotype is blue. So the genotype is B small and the phenotype is blue. So the capital letter is used for the dominant allele and the small letter used for recessive allele. So here the letters B capital, B small are called the genotype. Here we have genotype and also those are genotypes. And the color which appears is called phenotype. So the color, for example, B capital, B small, because we have B capital, so the color eye is brown, so the phenotype is brown. Okay, so here the phenotype of B capital, B small, genotype is brown because we say that brown color, which is B capital, is dominant. So if one of the two letters is dominant, here one dominant and one recessive, when they cross they will produce B capital, B small. Okay, here you have to know that if one of the two letters is dominant, so the phenotype will be as dominant. So the phenotype, that means the feature will be as dominant. Here we have B capital, B small. B capital is dominant, and we say the feature of the dominant here that the color eye is brown. Sorry, the eye color is brown. Okay? Now, focus again. We have homozygous brown-eyed man and homozygous blue-eyed man. Here we say that the dominant is B capital, which is a brown color, and the recessive is blue color. So the man has the B capital, which is the dominant, and here the woman has B small, so it's the recessive. When they cross together, they will produce a new offspring, has one gamete from the man and one gamete from the woman to produce a new zygote during fertilization to give us a first generation or the first offspring. Here B capital, B small, we call it genotype. And this genotype will tell us what is the phenotype. Okay? Genotype tells us what is the phenotype. So if we have one dominant in the genotype, so the characteristic or the feature will be as the dominant. So the dominant here is brown, so all the genotype will give the feature brown for the new offspring. Okay. Now let's see what will happen if we make a cross between two heterozygous parents. So here we have two heterozygous parents. And as we say, that heterozygous means both alternative alleles are present in one homologous pair. So here we have two alleles. They are different, okay, for the father and the mother. So during fertilization, and as we know that fertilization is random, so either of the male gametes can fuse with either of the female gametes. So the gametes from male we have B capital, B small, and from the female also we have B capital, B small. Now what will happen when either of the male gametes fuse with either of the female gamete? Now when B small in male fuse with B capital in female, that will produce the first offspring, which is B capital, B small. Can you tell me what is the phenotype here? Excellent. The phenotype is brown because we have one dominant, which is B capital, and we say that B capital means a brown eye color. Okay. Now what will happen when B capital from male fuse with B capital from female? So B capital, that will produce this genotype. So but also present of B capital, which is dominant, that will tell us that this genotype will give us phenotype brown eye color. Okay, so until now we have two offsprings have brown eye color. Now what will happen when B small from male, which is recessive gamete, fuse with recessive gamete from female? That will produce B small, B small. B small means homozygous offspring has blue eye color. So here, because we have two recessive gametes, so the eye color is blue. And the last thing, or the last possible, okay, B capital with B small, that will produce B capital, B small, and presence of dominant B capital or brown eye color, so the offspring will have brown eye color. So the result, we have three offsprings have brown eye color, and we have one offspring has blue eye color. So it's important to differentiate between genotype and phenotype. Genotype, the letters after fertilization, and phenotype is the feature or the color or the characteristics which we are talking about. So here you have to know how to find the probabilities or chances of the offspring phenotype. Here we have three offsprings have brown color and only one offspring has blue color. So the probability of having only phenotype, the probability of having any phenotype is the number of offspring over the total possibilities or possibles. Okay? So again, the probability of having any phenotype is the number of offspring divided by all the number of the offspring. Okay, for example, what is the probability of brown-eyed color? Actually, it's 3/4. Why? Because we have 3 brown-eyed colors and the total is 4. So 3/4, or we can use 75%. So we can use percentage also. So 3/5 equals 75%. What about the blue color? Can you tell me what is the probability of blue-eyed color? How many offspring? We have only 1. And the total is 4. So the probability is 1/4, which is 25%. Okay, the same. Okay, now the ratio dominant to recessive, as we said that dominant 3 brown-eyed colors with 1 blue. Here if we fuse 2 heterozygous gametes. So here we have 2 heterozygous gametes. Okay, here we have another case, which is if we have 1 heterozygous and 1 homozygous recessive. Okay, try to make the cross of 1 heterozygous, which is B capital B small, and 1 homozygous recessive, which is B small B small. Okay, now here we have a question. Draw a diagram to explain how two brown-eyed parents can have a blue-eyed child. Okay, we explained that before. We said that brown-eyed parents are both B capital B small. So this one B capital B small and this one B capital B small. So gametes from each parent are B capital or B small. At fertilization, one possible combination in the zygote is B small, which is blue-eyed child. Okay, we have another question. Sorry, it's not written here. A question in your book, page 203. Okay, try to answer it. Which is Gregor Mendel suggested that a cross between 2 heterozygous individuals produces offspring in a ratio of 3, showing the dominant characteristic to 1 showing the recessive characteristics. Explain why. We explained it before, and we say that some parents are both have B capital B small, but they don't have children with blue-eyed color. So what do you think? What is the reason? Actually, here you have to know that the gametes are not produced in exactly equal numbers, and also you have to know that always fertilization is random. So no need to have blue-eyed child. Okay? Now the second section of this lesson, you have to understand the principle of the test cross. So what is the test cross and what is the principle of test cross? Now focus here. We have B capital, so we have homozygous gametes. Okay, now we are going to distinguish homozygous brown from heterozygous brown. Okay, so here we have homozygous brown and here we have heterozygous brown. We are going to cross them with blue eye color. Okay, now what will happen when B capital from the parents one of the parents, and the second one B small and B small. We say that will give us 4 gametes. When they cross together, all the offspring will be B capital B small. So all the colors will be brown. Okay, so here we have the parents, B capital B small B small. When they give gametes, they will give 4 gametes. Okay, B capital B small B small. During fertilization, all the new offsprings will be B capital B small as genotype. What about phenotype? Phenotype, all of them will be brown. What will happen when we fertilize heterozygous brown with homozygous blue? Okay, here we have heterozygous brown, B capital B small. We say that heterozygous because it has all alternative of the alleles. Okay, here we have B small B small. When they fuse together, they will produce B capital B small, another one B capital B small, and B small B small. So that will produce B capital B small or B small B small. So the generation will be 1 brown-eyed color and 1 blue-eyed color. Okay. So here the heterozygous brown can supply the B allele for a gamete even though it's hidden. So here, okay, we have B small, but actually it's hidden in the offspring. So here the color is brown and here the color is blue. If we have 2 B small, so the color will be blue. But if we have one dominant gamete, which is B capital, that will give the feature of the dominant gamete. So this is the test cross. So test cross can distinguish different genotype with the same phenotype. So here, the same phenotype, we have a brown, okay? Both are brown, but the genotypes are different because the genotype of the first brown, it's a pure brown. That means it contains or it has B capital, and the second brown genotype is B capital B small. So we can differentiate between the types of phenotype by seeing its genotype. Okay? So here we differentiate between brown pure and the second brown by distinguishing the genotype. Okay? Now, here we have the B degree. So the results of genetic crosses are sometimes shown as a B degree. So what is a B degree and how do we read this B degree? If you look here, we have a key. We use it to identify different phenotypes. So those keys, the first one, normal female. This normal female, so circles for female and they used squares for male. And if the female affected, so the circle will be shaded. And if the male also affected with anything, with any recessive gamete, so we shade the square. So always the affected female or the shaded shapes, they will tell us that here we have a small letter. For example, for eye colors, here we have B small, which is a blue eye color. And here we have B small, but here for male and here for female. Now, the lines which connect between the shapes, those lines link here we have the first line. This line links the father and the mother. That means they fuse the gametes together. And this line links the parents to their offspring. And here we have the offspring from the same mother and father. Okay, now we have a simple question to understand it more. Here we have this family tree, which is pedigree, refers to the inheritance of fur color in rabbits. Sorry. Okay. So this family tree pedigree refers to the inheritance of fur color in rabbits. So brown fur is dominant. So brown is dominant to white. White is recessive fur. What can deduce about the genotype of individuals A, B, and C? Let's start with the first thing, A. So if you look at the parents, you will find that this is the male and this one female. When they fuse the gametes together, that will produce one of the offsprings is carried or is affected with the white. So here we have white female, and here we have a brown female, and here we have a brown male. So let's say that B capital is a brown and B small is white. Circle shaded and square shaded must be B small, B small. So this one B small and this one B small. Okay? This is the starting point, since the only certainty is that animals with the recessive phenotype must have the homozygous recessive genotype. So the animals in general, all mammals with a human which has the recessive phenotype, so it has homozygous recessive genotype. Okay, so here we have B small, and here we have B small, B small. And we say that if we have one offspring has B small, so sure both parents have B capital, B small. So during fertilization and after making the gametes will connect together and fuse together to produce B capital, B small to produce B small, B small. Okay, so must be B capital, B small, because he has brown fur but can pass on the B allele to one of his daughters. So one of the daughters also here, okay, has B small, B small. Okay, B capital must be B capital, B small for the same reason as A is. Okay, so A here, this one, B capital, B small. Why? Because one of the daughters is B small, B small. Here, the female is B small, B small. The father, we don't know what will be. Let's see their daughters. Okay, here we have, he has two boys. So the male here, B small, B small. So if one of the males B small, so this one should be B capital, B small, to connect with B small to produce B small, B small. Okay, this one, see, sure, this one B small, so when B small, B capital connect with B small, one of the offspring will be B capital, B small. So genotype A, B capital, B small. Genotype B, also B capital, B small. Genotype C also will be B capital, B small. And all of them have brown fur because the brown fur is dominant. Okay? Now we have a question here. Genetics was asked to investigate the inheritance of acatalasia in dogs. So here we have acatalasia in dogs. Now you have to know the normal allele is represented by B capital, and the mutant allele is represented by B small. So this one is dominant and this one is recessive. Now the genetics made the diagram in figure 3.1 to show the inheritance of acatalasia in a family of dogs. The shaded symbols indicate the dogs with acatalasia. So here the shaded, they have acatalasia, male and female. Also here we have keys, squares for male and circles for female. Now the question states the genotypes of the dogs identified as 1, 2, 3. Now we will find all the genotypes for all the numbers. Okay, as we say that all shaded, they are affected with recessive, so they are recessive, so they have 2 small letters. Okay, so this one, this circle and 5 also 2, all of them has B small, B small. Okay, now when B small appears in the offsprings, that means the daughters will be B capital, B small. We said that again, if one of the offsprings appears B small, so the parents will be B capital, B small. So one B capital, B small, and this circle also B capital, B small. When they fuse the gamete together, one of the possibles will be B small, B small. And the second one, because here we have B capital, B small, B capital, B small, the most gametes, B capital and B small, they will produce number 4, which is B capital, B small. Okay? So B capital, B small, that means then its normal allele is represented. So here without acatalasia. Okay? So 1, B capital, B small, also 4, B capital, B small. Now, as we said that number 2, because it's shaded, so it's recessive, so it's B small, B small. When B small fused with any gamete to produce also recessive, so one of the gametes should be B small. So here B small, B small. To produce number 5, B small, we need here, because it's normal, we need B capital, B small. B small will connect with B small to produce number 5, B small. Okay. So this one, B capital, B small. So focus here again. We started with this female. It's B small, B small. All the shaded B small, B small. Sorry, here number 5 is shaded. Okay, so they are shaded. So to produce shaded offspring, we need another B small gamete. So here the male should have B capital, B small. Okay, now this one, because B capital, B small, we will produce B capital, B small or B capital, the dominant. Okay. Okay, so number 1, B capital, B small, because one of the offspring has B small, B small. What about number 2? We say that it's B small, B small. To produce another B small, B small from the offspring, number 2 should fuse with another B small. So the chromosome or DNA or the genotype of 3 should be B capital, B small. Why? if we give two gametes here, B small, and here two gametes, B capital, B small, when B small fuse with B small, that will produce number 5. Okay, so here we have another question, the genetics. Okay, the genetics crossed dog 4 with dog 5. Where's dog 4 and 5? Here, dog 4 B capital, B small, and dog 5 B small, B small. Okay, approximately half of the offspring had echalasia and half the offspring did not have echalasia. Complete the genetic diagram to show how this is possible. So here should write the genotype B capital, B small for 4, and here B small, B small. So when they give gametes, that will produce B capital, B small, and here B small, B small. So we write only one gamete because both are the same, so we write one. Now when we use the Punnett square to find the offsprings, you will find that B capital, B small for male gametes, and B small for female gametes. So when B capital fuse with B small, that will produce dominant B capital, B small. So it's a heterozygous genotype. B small with B small, that will homozygous recessive genotype. B capital, B small the same, B small the same. So that will produce half of the offspring had echalasia. Those two had echalasia, and half of the offspring did not have echalasia. Okay, so thank you for listening. Study well and good luck. And if you have any question, you can send to me. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.